Hey good people, and welcome back to the channel. Earlier today, I watched a movie on Tubi called Poly Life in Peach City, and if I had to rate the movie on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a solid 8.5. The movie had almost everything that I could ask for in an independent movie, though there were some flaws that prevented me from giving it a perfect 10. So over the course of this review, I'll give a brief summary about the movie, I'll talk about some of the things that I liked and some of the things that I did not like. So without any further delay, let's jump right in. The movie Poly Life in Peach City follows the characters Keisha, Leslie, and Laura. These women are lifelong friends who meet up after years of being away for a night of drinks and fun. After they leave the bar, they continue to hang out that night and reflect on issues within their own marriages. Feeling the love that they share with one another, they decide to all engage in a polite and friendly three-way that was quite amazing to watch if you ask me. The next day, Keisha proposes the idea of tricking their husbands into partaking in a weekend retreat under the guise that the trip will be a romantic getaway, when in reality, the getaway is a setup for the ladies to express how they want to explore polyamory with the men on the trip. And over the remainder of the movie, we see the characters engaging in polyamory and how it impacts their relationships. So first things first, I want to commend the movie on a number of things that it gets right. I enjoyed the acting performances throughout the movie. Although there were only 6 characters in the movie, the actors that play each character are given a sufficient amount of screen time, and we as the viewing audience see that each character in the movie has their own set of unique character traits that makes it easy to differentiate themselves from everybody else. I enjoyed the pacing for the movie. The runtime for Poly Love in Peach City is a little over an hour and a half. And while watching the movie, there weren't really any moments that I found myself getting bored or thinking that the story was being rushed. I enjoyed the overall production and editing for the movie. Poly Love in Peach City certainly passed the eye test with me, and it came off as a high-quality independent movie. And lastly, I thoroughly enjoyed the love scenes. Too often when I do these reviews, I ding movies for having an abundance of love scenes that look awkward and unrealistic because the actors are too busy trying to cover themselves up. In this movie, the actors are completely comfortable in their own skin, which makes movie viewers like me take the movie more seriously. And in my opinion, showing skin in these type of movies takes courage, but it can be done in such a way that allows the actor to maintain their dignity while elevating the story. Unfortunately, there were a few things that prevented me from giving this movie a perfect 10. The main critique that I have of the movie was the overall story. Here we have 3 lifelong friends who get to know each other extremely well after a night of drinking and trauma bonding. The very next day, the one and only solution to their marital problems is to trick and pressure their husbands into partaking in a couple swap. Forget about having faith in God, and forget about going to marriage counseling. The one and only solution for getting a spark back in their marriages was for 3 lifelong friends to invite their husbands into a poly life event. Now, I can't speak for all men, but I know that for myself and for most men that I know, if our girlfriends or wives tricked us into attending a couple swapping event, if they wanted us to participate on the same day that we found out without any kind of warm-up period, and if we never expressed any interest of being about that lifestyle, then the situation would have ended before it had a chance to begin. One of the reoccurring themes in this movie was that a key component of polyamory was open communication, and the 3 women in the movie came out of the gate lying to their husbands and manipulating them to participate in something that they knew their husbands weren't completely on board with. I also felt that if the husbands were aware of the 3-way that these ladies participated in, then that would have added another layer of drama. I think out of all the husbands that were featured in the movie, Terrence, who was Keisha's husband, was written to be the most realistic. He had reservations about the whole process, he was mostly negative towards everybody in the movie, and he got in his feelings after everybody returned home. He was so hurt by the process that he decided to leave Keisha at the end of the movie. Now, I think it's worth mentioning that the movie did a great job at highlighting that the issues between Keisha and Terrence were so serious that a simple couple swap wouldn't be nearly enough to bring them the happiness that they were looking for. With that being said, I thought that Nigel, who was Leslie's husband, would have almost reacted like Terrence did when he learned about the whole process. In the movie, Nigel's main issue was being unemployed and trying to find a job so that he could support his household. The weekend of fun might have brought him and Leslie closer together, but it really didn't solve Nigel's main issue at hand. But again, I commend the person who wrote the movie for using Nigel's character to point out the obvious, which is, if you're going to engage in polyamory, then it might be an easier pill to swallow if the other couples involved are not lifelong friends. For rookies who just up and decided to be part of the lifestyle, swapping with people that they've known for years or hardly know at all could result in added jealousy to the situation if the husbands and wives get more pleasure from their other partners. And the only other issue that I had with the movie was the ending. Don't get me wrong, the ending to this movie wasn't bad by any means, but for me, the perfect ending would have been an epilogue text which tells us as the viewing audience what happens to the couples in their quest to explore polyamory and fix their marriages. Nevertheless, this is a very solid movie, and I recommend it to anybody in search of a good movie to watch on Tubi. But this marks the end of my review. If you have any comments related to this movie or the video, feel free to leave them below in the comment section and I'll reply to everybody. Until next time, stay tuned and stay safe. Peace.